Thanks, Charlotte. Hi, everybody. We're just getting everyone, few people just joining, so we'll let everyone get connected. Give it a couple of seconds there. Still see a few people joining. Thank you, everyone, for joining us always. It'll be, just so you know, it'll be Lord Marples we kick off with first and talk about first. So if you've got one of the beers or you're waiting to try one, that'll be the first one we're talking through. I'll crack this one open as we're saying it. We've got Russell's just joining us there as well. So for those who are maybe new or not joined before, my name's James. I'm the export manager over at Thornbridge. Joined tonight, we've got Dom, who's joining us, our second brewer at the brewery. Russell, of course, from the taproom manager, and Charlotte as well, our social media and marketing coordinator too. So a few of us there. I can see a few people logging on. I'll start pouring some beer to kick off with as well. Please feel free to tuck in. As always, there's not no pressure to drink along. We'll talk through all the different beers we have in the box. But don't feel like you're going to rush through anything. Enjoy them separately. Hopefully all of you have had them turned up and in your fridges, in your cellars, that sort of thing for a few days as well. So while we're waiting for those extra few people just logging on there as well, that's it. We may as well tuck in. Don't want anyone getting thirsty. So the first beer, we got 5 beers in total. This one here, Lord Marples. I know hopefully most of you have had Lord Marples before, have seen it, have tried it. Lord Marples was the first beer we ever brewed. So it's been brewed now for, well, since 2005. So a long time for us. Named after one of the owners of Thornbridge Hall. So Mr. Marples, as he was known, well, as he was actually, he wanted everyone to call him a lord, so we thought we'd give him the name there. He modernized a lot of the hall. He put in a lot of the works. He even put in a train station behind Thornbridge Hall as well. Insisted lots of lords and ladies would come and visit him, but, well, I'm not sure they ever did. So it's in a bit of a state of disrepair, sadly, now. But he was quite a fun character, and we thought, you know, the Lord Marples particularly lent itself to a classic bitter. So this one, as I mentioned, we brewed it ever since we started. It's got that fantastic kind of caramelly dark color on there, that chestnut mahogany. And as you'd expect, if you give it a bit of a swirl, give it a bit of a smell, and you start to instantly, you're just transported to the pub. These nice bottle conditioned beers that we do here, they give you that fantastic head there on the top there as well. If you were drinking it in a pub, hopefully you know, see those nice similarities too. So a real favorite for us, and a long-standing beer. We've been putting it into bottle most recently after doing a stint. It's always been in cask. It's always been in all of our own pubs. We sell it. In fact, I've sold it to the most northernmost handful in the world, halfway up Finland before. So it does travel a little bit. It goes well. And it has been drunk in lots of places and well enjoyed, but now it's moved into bottles. We've got that demand for this as a bottle conditioned product, and I think it suits it perfectly there too. So Dom, I think you've of course done the bottle conditioning and the process and things like that. Would you mind giving the guys a little bit of a, you know, a brewer's side view of how it works?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
So we brew the beer with cask beer strain to give it maximum sort of fruity flavour. We use Ernest and Fuggles as the hops at the moment, but that can change depending on what's going on with the season at the moment. Gets a hefty dose of invert sugar number 2, plenty of crystal malt. It's all Marisotta for the base. And the bottle conditioning is basically, we centrifuge the beer prior to packaging. It's not fizzy at this point, so we add a special yeast, CBC1, which is a special cask and bottle conditioning yeast, and then we prime it with some dextrose and allow the ferment. So we basically hold the bottles back for a couple of weeks to allow them to condition and carbonate properly. And it's a smaller bubble that way, and it's more effervescent, a bit more moussey, rather than your Coca-Cola style big bubbles. And it just makes for classier products, and we just want, because they're obviously for enjoying at home, so people can crack open a bottle nicely and just enjoy it the best way they can. So
yeah, cheers, Dom. I like moussey, actually. That's a good good descriptor I'm going to steal in the future. How about you, Russell? I know you've been a fan of this one on cask before.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we've it's a staple in the tap room. So I want to say we've always got it on, but every now and again we stick some other bitter on. But we get enough complaints when we don't have it that we make sure we get it back quick enough. So yeah, great, bottle conditioned, right up my street. Yeah, just got to make space in the fridge for those upright bottles.
True. Although, again, this is one I've talked to people who have this at all different temperatures as well. So if you can't fit it in the fridge, if you get it at that, 8 to 12 or what have you as well, you should be able to knock it out too, hopefully. Save some space for the cans in the fridge as well. And then I think, Charlotte, we had Rob has joined us here. I've not seen him pop in.
No, I don't think I've seen him either.
No. Okay. So we do have Rob from Timmy Taylor's is joining us at some point. So we won't talk just yet about the collaboration.
Scott still again.
Sorry. Okay.
No, it's all right. Sorry, yeah, Dom. Yeah, sorry. Rob couldn't make it, unfortunately. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us in his stead, Scott. That's very handy.
Right. Thanks for having me.
Apologies for the communication there on our side. So.
It's all right.
But like I say, thank you very much for joining us. Would you mind tell us a little bit about your sort of role there at Timothy Taylor's as well?
Yes, I'm the senior brand manager. So I work in the marketing team. So basically any kind of digital marketing, I slot in that role. And I came down when we did the Artesian Brewing as well. Dom was a very grateful host up there. So took us around the hall and everything. So yeah, no, I had a great time.
Oh, fantastic. Well, good. Yeah, I know Dom obviously prides himself. Hopefully showed you all of the petting zoo and things that we have up there, the pigs, the goats, everything else.
He did. It was quite eye-opening. I especially enjoyed the tour around the little garden as well. That was cool. Dom definitely knows his stuff.
Yeah, good. Oh, very pleased. And yeah, again, thank you for taking the time out this evening to come and join us as well. Have you had a chance yet to tuck into our collab?
Do you know what? I've literally just got home, so
okay.
It's just arrived today. I do have a kind of artesian waiting, but yeah, I'll get to him eventually.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got it here in front. Oh, sorry. We've got it here in front of us as well. So I'll pour some out here so we can have a look. Hopefully, most people have now tucked into this one at least already. And I mean, straight away you get that fantastic look. You get that nice, completely, clear. Get the great white head on there, but the aromas will start to come out of there too. I mean, we called it this elderflower and gooseberry as well, and I mean, it does exactly that with those additions in there too. And so you said you were up on the brew day. So how did you find brewing this particular beer with us as well?
It was great. I mean, the kind of the comparison between is very old and like a lot of processes that haven't sort of got to the sci-fi age that we're currently in. So going to Thornbridge, it was a completely different experience. Those guys chatting to the team as well and seeing their brewing process from start to finish. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of kind of similarities, but at the same time, there was a lot of differences. And with you guys having the bottling plant on site as well, that was great to see. And then obviously with the tap room right next door, that was fantastic as well.
Yeah. Did you bump into Russell at all while you were there?
I didn't bump into Russell. No, we were up with head brewer Rob, Dom. We brought Andy Leman, our own head brewer, around as well.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the tap room there at least as well, with the pizzas, the beer flowing, and everything else as well there too. So
yeah, I think I enjoyed it a bit too much, to be fair.
No such thing. But the beer, I mean, the results, thankfully, certainly. Got up there, did it, and the results have been fantastic. We've had a lot of great feedback. We launched it at Peakender, but we've done it in cask, we've done it in keg since then as well. And Dom, of course, you were on the other side brewing for Thornbridge there. How did you find it, with the elderflower, the gooseberry, everything else there as well? Quite a unique challenge, or was it just a good fun day in the office?
I mean, for us, making all these different beers with fruit in and other ingredients is our bread and butter. We're so used to it, and obviously it's quite new for Taylor's to do something like that. They certainly don't have the same sort of range that we do. But it was Andy's idea. He wanted the gooseberry and elderflower together. I think it was inspired by some of his home brewing. So we knew it worked. We used some dried elderflowers, about 15 kilos per 5,000 litres, in basically making a tea at the end with some of the Amarillo hops, and then straight into the fermenter with some concentrated gooseberry juice. So you got to get the balance right. So the gooseberry's very acidic, really tart. And we don't basically want this beer to taste off. It just had to have a hint of the gooseberry, just so you know it's there. Some nice, we didn't want to use any essences or any flavorings. And it's just trying to get a balanced beer that people can actually drink, plenty of, which is, what Taylor's and hopefully what we're about as well. So a nice little marriage, but yeah, quite challenging because we didn't want to mess it up. So I think we did pretty well.
No, definitely. I mean, I'd agree. I'm biased, of course, but it is fantastic. It's so refreshing as well. You say that little tartness of gooseberry in there. It's not overwhelming at all. Just really adds to it, I think. But this, Scott, was the first ever collaboration from Timothy Taylor's. And of course, I know Dom, other Dom, our sales and marketing director, he's had that link with Taylor's for a long, long time now. And so he knew everyone there. He was able to work with you all and develop the idea for the collaboration. But how was it received there with Timothy Taylor's doing the first one? It was, how did that go?
It was fun. I mean, it was it was sort of 3-4 years in the building because, like I say, we planned to do it through the COVID years, and obviously that got halted for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, we always had it in our minds that Thornbridge were always going to be our first collab. We had that connection with them. They're very much a very similar brewery to us. They respect the brewing process. The beers that they produce are always premium. They're always consistent. So yeah, we had that sort of synergy with Thornbridge, and like I say, we knew Dom, obviously, who worked at Taylor's for a long time. But yeah, we knew that we wanted to do Thornbridge first. But yeah, for the first collab, I mean, it's been 165 years in the making, essentially. So yeah, it was nervous, I think. There was a lot of we didn't really know what we were doing to a certain degree. It's an all new experience. But like I said, Dom and Rob, absolutely fantastic communication, so welcoming. And it's just been received so well, like with our audience who were a little bit more cask forward, going into the pub, seeing it in cask, seeing it in keg. Yeah, no, it's really gone down well. And it still has that sort of, it's 4.2%. It's super sessionable, really easy drinking, fits well with all our other beers. And yeah, no, the feedback so far from customers has been 100% absolutely positive.
Oh, good. And I'd agree the same for us as well, of course, too. So, we've had the cans went straight out, the kegs, the cask. I mean, the cask at Peakender, we just couldn't turn it over fast enough. It was bonkers. People just kept coming back. I know we did the talks and the little events and things that the tastings too. But yeah, the feedback. Then we even got some sunshine at Peakender, which was rare for us. But yeah. Went very well. Russell, how have you found it going out in the tap room, the feedback there?
Yeah, I agree. We had it in the cellar ready, and we had to wait for Peakender to kind of kick off before we could get it poured. So we were serving it, I think, from the Saturday. But I was down at Peakender helping out on the Saturday, and when the sun was out, it was great. Yeah, people were really, really enjoying it. It's got that kind of sort of sour feel to it, but it's still an ale. So. And it's not, too fruity in the sense of it's too sweet. It's like Dom said, it's nice and tart with the gooseberry, really floral elderflower. So, and it's 4.2%. So yeah, you can drink, a bit of it and still stand up, I suppose. So yeah, really, really good. And yeah, everyone in the tap room loved it. I mean, we haven't got any more of it left to come on in the tap room. So when a beer is, excellent, I always know because none of it comes back through the tap room. So yeah, so it's been really good.
Yeah, good. Perfect. Yeah, all the feedback as well, everywhere else pretty much chimes in with the same too there. It's good to hear. And yeah, just nice to see those two, as you mentioned. It was a little while in the making, well, a long time for yourselves, but with COVID too. But, we all know Timothy Taylor's and Landlord and everything else and all the beers, but is there, anything that we wouldn't know about, or, when you go and talk to people yourself, Scott, and in your role there and talk to people about the history and the story of Taylor's, can you give us a bit more insight? There's people on the call who will certainly know it, but it's rare to hear from, someone from the brewery themselves.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, 165 years old, so we're a very heritage brewer, and we've been on our current site since 1863. So a long time. We're family owned still. We're still independent. So we've got people on our board that are literal descendants of Timothy Taylor himself, which is always interesting. Everything always comes through the family. They're super supportive of us, whatever we try and do. I think speaking of people, it's always, we're so synonymous with landlord that people often call us landlord, or people often call landlord Timothy Taylor's.
Yeah.
Still makes up 80% of our production. It's such a flagship beer for us. But I think the joy of it is the fact that we do produce a very tight range essentially. So we have 6 permanent cask ales that we do all the time. We've got some of our kind of bottled range, so we've got Poulter's Porter, Cook Lane IPA, which are always worth looking at, and Hopkill Storm, which is our first ever kegged product, our first ever canned product, which for a brewery nowadays that's quite crazy. But that's going really well, and it's kind of it's bringing in a new audience as well. But yeah, it's always a joy when we can kind of point people in the direction of a Bolt Maker or an Old Spring or a Golden Best, because they kind of loved where found. I think that's where we're at. Landlord is kind of it's spread nationwide now. Definitely the one that we're most known for, but there's still people out there that love to hunt out say Dark Mild or a Golden Best, some of our milds as well. So yeah, and it's a pleasure to work there. Like I said, I've been there for 5 years now. And it is very much a family atmosphere. It's very much kind of open, honest, challenging. If you have an opinion, you're more than welcome to put it out there. And I think that's the same vibe that we've got in Thornbridge as well. It's that similar kind of ethos to us. It's very friendly, very welcoming, and you're just very open and honest with each other. And it was lovely. But yeah, I mean, if anybody's got any questions about Timothy Taylor, more than welcome to ask it. It's hard to kind of boil down 165 years into bit, but yeah, I'll try as hard as I can.
Well, cheers, Scott. Yeah, normally, we've got the chat on the side as well. It's and certainly through, if you join us, we'll talk through other beers as well too. So if people do, while we're going through them, have anything to ask, please do ask away. A nice Stumpy there, Steve. Really nice summer session beer. So yeah, it did, as to say, we got some sunshine there at Peak Ender too, so it went well. Have you got any more collabs coming up at all, Scott? Is there anything, have we ignited a fire there? Is it going to start happening, or?
Yeah, the floodgates have opened now. No, we're still taking it slowly. I think we just want to be very selective about who we work with. I don't think we do we don't want to we've never done one before, so this is our first one, so that's given us a lot of learnings. And I think maybe one next year, possibly one the year after. I don't think it's something we're going to do a lot of, mainly due to kind of volume restrictions. We brew so much Landlord and brew so much cask. It's only a certain amount of mash tuns and certain amount of fermenters that we've got. It's quite a small brewery site. I think people would be surprised because we are quite well known. I think people think it's a bigger brewery than it is, but the actual footprint of the brewery is very, very small. I don't know I think Dom's been up a couple of times, and it's surprising when people visit, and it's quite ramshackle. It's quite kind of rabbit warren-y. There's a lot of stairs. There's a lot of, so yeah. But yeah, we might have something in the brewing for 2024. But I've got
okay.
Yeah. So, but I've got to keep it very stum at the moment. I think my manager and my boss may murder me. So yeah.
Well, it's good to hear though. That's exciting. It's not too far away, 2024 now. So
it's approaching quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure, of course, you'll be making a big noise about it as well. So, yeah, we'll be keeping an eye out.
It's not special anymore. It's number 2 now. We're old hat. So.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, of course. We were the original one, but yeah. And if people, I saw earlier on, I think it was the Morrison's Instagram about Hopkill Storms in there as well now, isn't it? In their new fridges they were showing. So yeah, if people haven't tried it, it is a cracking beer. I saw it was it a design award at the World Beer Awards as well recently too, I think.
Yeah, that was quite surprising. It got world's best can design, which was a bit of a shock for us. So yeah, and yeah, like I say, it's listed in, I think we've got Morrison's, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, and Booths. Booths is kind of quite northern, but a few of you guys might know it. But yeah, you can kind of get it all over the place. But yeah, it's going down really well at the moment. So yeah, we're Yeah, liking it. Yeah, it's a weird step forward for us, like having our first can in
Mhm.
forever. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah, we're enjoying it.
Good. No, I'm pleased. Like I say, see it about, it does well. So yeah, fantastic. That's good. But I think you've got a question there, Timothy Taylor Mild in the pipeline.
We already have a mild. Yeah, we've got two. We've got Golden Best and we've got Dark Mild that we brew permanently. They're just not very well traveled. That's the issue, and we don't bottle them because essentially there's not much commercial demand. So in order to kind of warrant a bottling, essentially we have to gauge that a supermarket would be interested in it before we can afford to bottle it. So yeah, milds have never kind of got past that point, and because it's 3.5% as well, it's quite low in the ABV. But we are hopefully releasing either a Golden Best or a Dark Mild mini keg for Christmas, and that'll be one of the first times that you can get it at home. So we're currently having a vote for that online. So yeah, we're going to see how that one pans out.
Brilliant. All right. Well, there you go, Jenny and Colin. So hopefully that helps answer it. You can get it at home coming up too. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, like I say, there'll hopefully be some more questions and things as well coming in. We'll talk a few more of the beers that we have as well. But yeah, I'll ask, just make sure we keep an eye out for anything there as well. But again, thank you for the time, Scott. It's yeah, great to have you joining us and things. In fact, one thing I suppose, will we see you at any events coming up? Will people be able to see you? You know, are you pouring any festivals or anything? I know we're just coming out of the season now, but
We are, yeah. So we're just at the end of our season. I don't know how many people know Keighley. We've got the Keighley Worth Valley Railway Beer and Music Festival coming up. So that's like a 5 mile beer festival essentially on an old steam train, which is great. Next year, the big ones, we're at Carfest. We are at Yorkshire Dales Food and Drink Festival. We'll be at a few of the craft beer festivals coming up as well. We're at Bloodstock. Any metalheads out there? We're at Bloodstock Open Air. So I'm looking forward to that next year. And there might be a few more in the brewing as well. We're hopefully going to be back at Peak Ender, to be fair. I think our guys definitely enjoy going. So yeah.
Good. Yeah, well, certainly more than welcome. It'd be good to have you back again. It was, as I say, I've said it like 3 times. It was sunny, which again is always, it's never a given, but it was good weather up there too. So we're already, you know, getting our heads together, thinking about 2024. So yeah, it'd be great to have you guys there as well.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Rob and Luke are already asking for tickets. So yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, definitely we can always look after that as well. So just shoot us an email too.
I'll let you know.
And then noticed Timothy Taylor's have a couple of beers on at the Bluebell Railway Festival in Sussex this weekend.
Yeah, we do. So we're kind of at quite a lot of the so we've been at the St Albans one recently. We're at basically any camera beer festival we've usually got a presence at. But yeah, we're at the Bluebell there. To be honest with you, any camera festival we usually have, you know, at least Landlord there or something like that. But keep an eye out for your local beer festivals because, you know, those are some of the best that you'll visit. I mean, we're all really looking forward to the Keighley Worth Valley one. I don't think you can be upset if you're drinking a beer on a steam train. I think that's just, you know, that's key happiness. That's good.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. The one in Sheffield here always is my local one. It's always great as well. So doesn't quite, it's not on a train, unfortunately. That's pretty cool. But yeah, still, they're definitely worth going to always, as you say. So, bro, but yeah, thanks again, Scott. It's, like I say, it's good to drink the beer together, talk about it a little, hear a bit more about the brewery too. And then, yeah, we'll talk through, of course, we got 5 in the box this month. For those of you who may have seen already, those keen eyes out there on our social medias, we have already announced next month's box as well, which will also include a couple of collaborations. We've got a huge hot bomb in there with Cloudwater, which is going to be an absolute just crazy, hugely packed with flavor. And then, of course, the full range as well, bringing back Zara, which has been very excited in the brewery. People have loved Zara over the years. A big American hopped amber and a collaboration, of course, with Salopian too. So there'll be some great stuff next month in the box as well. But as we talk our way through this month, we've got the Quiet Storm series continues. So this time with Hallertau Tradition. So a bit more, we've gone, of course, some of the big American hops. We've done some of the European, the Australian. This time we're going for the very classic, one of the noble hops, and that German variety as well. You know, we often use this one in our different lagers and different German beers that we brew up here. But I know I'm talking about this, but I know Dom Driscoll is a big, of course, German beer fan, German hop fan as well. So a good timing, Dom, for have you on for this one to talk about this beer. So tell us, what do you think of the pale ale with the Hallertau?
Yeah, so just drinking it now. It's actually come through really well. I think we actually got a poor yield on this one because the brewers are helping themselves as we were making it. But yeah, we use it in Lucas, we use it a lot in Bayern, and we actually contract about 1,000 kilos throughout the year, and we tend to buy them from the Tettnang region. I don't know, probably 2 hours west of Munich, from a little farm there. We get them through one of the hop merchants. Really good quality. So, we're buying these 2 or 3 years in advance just to make sure that we've got the very best stock. I mean, in beers like Lucas and Bayern, it's added quite late in the process, but we don't add an awful lot. It's just to balance the beer, really, and to make it almost taste like beer rather than, to taste of citrus fruits or anything floral. But in this one, it's got a really nice punch of the hop. It's not like an English hop. Like, it hasn't got the harshness of Goldings and Fuggles. It's a lot smoother on the palate. Yeah, I really like it. I might buy a case actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a great hop, and the yield of these hops now is terrible in the fields because of climate change. I think something like 70% down. So over the next few years, we might have to work some different hops in.
Mhm.
But yeah, we really like it, and it's definitely got a future for Lucas and Bayern as well. We use it in, so.
Nice. I didn't know that actually. I didn't know the yield was that down. So it's interesting, and embrace it while we've got it then, maybe. Did we put this in Zara as well? Was this one of those, or was this just Bayern and Lucas?
No, I think the latest batch of Zara might have been Tettnanger with some Mittelfrüh, but yeah, I'd have to check the brew cards. So
sorry.
Yeah, we just canned. Yeah, we just canned some Lucas, some Zara today, and it's tasting great. So
nice.
Yeah, really happy with it.
Looking forward to Zara coming back. There's been the clamour in the brewery. Of course, we've got the Bayern already. We've got the Lucas too. But Zara coming back, I think, is going to be very exciting. Definitely some kegs as well.
Yeah.
So nice. But yeah, I thought this would be a good one. And I know this is certainly up your street, Dom, the German hops. So being able to do those in Quiet Storm as well, particularly. And very drinkable. I like again, that description just tastes like beer. Like, it gives it that like edge to it, I think. So lots of good comments on there. Tom, this is beautiful. Nick, very tasty stuff as well. So people enjoying this one particularly.
Yeah, it's a bit of class to it.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And Russell, you're always a Quiet Storm. You have a very strict criteria for your favourites of Quiet Storm.
Yeah, I'm like West Coast, aren't I? But like, considering we've had Cascade and then we've got Chinook coming up, this one in between as like a German kind of lager, single hop lager. It is really, really good. It's got like a really, really like soft end to it as well. So I think you could drink loads of that. It's really, really good. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it might be the can, but I'm getting kind of like Parma Violet vibes from it. I don't know what it is. I think it might just be the colour that I'm looking at. I don't know, but either way, yeah. I'll be honest. I kind of wrote it off before I saw it, before I tasted it. Sorry, but tasting it tonight, I'm like, wow, actually, that's a great beer. So I'll definitely stick some in my fridge. And Dom, I'm more than happy to serve you in the shop as well if you're coming in to buy a case. I'm sure we can work out a discount for you as well.
Thanks very much, Russell.
Always for a sale, me, James. You know me, always there for a sale.
Yeah, thanks, Russell. It's good. And you're right, probably about the color. We have gone. I mentioned it before. I think with the Amarillo, we've gone through the whole color palette and back again. I think now with the Quiet Storms, with having so many of them too. But it is. I'll verify it's different to everyone that we've had before. But yeah, Parma Violets I hadn't thought of just yet. So maybe look and put the can somewhere else when you're drinking it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But then, so that's the latest Quiet Storm. As I mentioned, we've got Of course, we'll go back to sort of classic American next month, and again keep working through those different hops and the colors as well, of course. But we have 2 collaborations in our box this month. And Dom was a key part, of course, of working with the guys at New Barns. Dom's known them a long time, introduced me to them many years ago as well. They're great guys up there. And, please tell us all about this collab, Dom. Tell us how it's been received, how you brewed it, how it went down.
Okay, so Gordon and Emma, who are the owners of New Barns, really old friends of mine, as you know. So I met Gordon and Emma because they were friends with Ryan, who was the original head brewer at Siren. And Gordon went to work for Ryan at Siren, and then Emma got a job brewing at Colonel. They've stayed with us quite a few times, and we've been down to see them. Really good friends, interest in farming. They've came and helped on the allotment a few times as well. So really nice people. So we did a brew called Gelbfie with them just in, I think it was 2019 or was it 20 I can't remember, James, you probably know better than me.
I think it is 2020 that we did it. I've got it on here because we started Beer Club in 2020. So yeah, it would have been.
Yeah. Yeah, so they couldn't come for the collab because of COVID.
Yeah.
But that was a Keller beer hell. So it was a lager style, unfiltered, not stabilized. Really, it was really hoppy. And some of the brewers really remember that beer as their favorite sort of. And it was quite an introduction because we make such clean lager styles usually. So it was a bit of a departure for us as a style. But it's definitely something we wanted to do. And since then they've been firing on all cylinders. They've done really well for themselves. Opened a tap room in Leith, they just phoned me up and said it's time for the return. So the return leg was actually scheduled for the week after Finefest. So I was still in no fit state to go up after that festival. So I said, all right, we'll have to do this by telephone. I'll come up for the packaging day, make it easier. So. Yeah, an Italian-style box. So they weren't originally enamored with the idea, but I've had a lot of good times in Italy drinking beer. Some of the best at the Birrificio Italiano, who make Tipo Pils, which is the Italian-style Pilsner. And this is their like a tribute to their B-Bock, which is their Bock. Again, trying to make it as super drinkable as possible. So there was quite a long lagering time involved, which is why it was brewed in June and now sort of released September time. So they're a lot about using heritage malts and not just the cheapest possible base malt. So they're strictly sort of Golden Promise and then something usually quite interesting. So we've used a Red X malt, which is fully diastatic, which means if you use 100% of it, it'll make you a nice bright red beer. And it'll ferment nicely as well because it's fully diastatic. So it's like a Munich malt on speed, basically. So we went 50-50, I think, to get an EBC of about 20. So just like a nice amber colour. We've used their house lager yeast, which I'm not sure of the origins of, actually. And then we dry hopped it just gently with some Kalista, which is one of the new German hop varieties, which is quite fruity, quite a lot of like soft fruit, black curranty sort of flavors. But we combined that with some Rottenberger, which is one of the old landrace varieties, which actually died out in the 1970s. And there's a hop farm, again, west of Tettnang that have brought it back. So we got about 15 kilos of that as well. So not a huge dry hop, but a dry hop nonetheless in a lager. Had about 6 to 7 weeks, nice cold temperature, and really happy with it. It's just B-Bock as I sort of remember, but definitely a New Barns Thornbridge take on B-Bock, not exactly the same thing. So not a beer style you might have seen before, but really interesting beer, and something different to the the Pardus and the various other IPA sort of beers that we usually make as well. So
Agreed. It's yeah, very. I've not had an Italian style bock before. Was it B bock, the name of the one you mentioned?
Yeah. So it's in between Milan and Lake Como. So obviously a great place to visit. It's all on the same train line. You just hop off after about half an hour's train journey north from Milan. And then it's about a 2 mile walk from the railway station, this beautiful brew pub in the middle of nowhere. And they're one of the original Italian craft brewers. Thornbridge actually did a collaboration with Birrificio Italiano.
Yeah.
What, 2009, 2010 or something. So just about a year or two before I got there. But they came to visit me, the Italians, whilst I was at Marble at sort of 2010. So I got to meet them there and said, "Oh, we'll definitely come visit you one day." And 2 years later, we did. So yeah, and we spent 3 or 4 days there having a lovely time. And their brewers actually judged with them various times across Europe at various beer festivals and things. So yeah, really nice people. And yeah, they make classy beer, and so we like to think that we try and do that too sometimes. So it's a nice way of honouring them as well. So.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I mean, I've had Teeper Pills, on draft a few times and very much enjoyed it. But yeah, I've never had their box. So if this is a sort of tribute to it, I'll certainly be seeking that one out as well. Yeah, and then some good reviews for this one. Love the bock, outstanding. Not overly familiar, but this one's beautiful. Not was expecting at all, but really good. So yeah, it's ticking all the boxes for everyone then already.
Yeah, so I mean, New Barns are they're very passionate about making beer. Gordon, I remember he was taking his brewing diploma. This was years ago, and was sort of asking for some help. I said, gave him some of my old notes, and he passed the whole thing in one go. And normally you take a couple of years over it. So he's a really clever guy, brilliant engineer. And the kit that they're using, I don't know if I should tell you this or if it's common knowledge, but it's the Burton, the Molson Coors plant put in a small brewery.
Right.
And basically scrapped it when the head brewer sort of retired. And they bought it for next to nothing and transported the whole thing up to Scotland.
Wow.
And whilst they were working at the various breweries, they just sat in a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere in Scotland, and they finally commissioned it in Leith a few years ago. So, so it was a really nice, proper continental brew house, perfect for making lagers. The water's nice and soft up there, so they can make great lagers as well. And yeah, it's refreshing just to see a brewery not just making hazy IPAs and being a bit more interested in malt instead of hops, but having a nice holistic view of everything that's important about beer as well. So yeah, they're a great brewery to work with and good friends of mine. So
nice. Yeah, good. Well, yeah, like I say, you've introduced me to them many years ago, and every beer I've had from them has been great. Very nice guys, as you say. So yeah, if anyone's not had the chance to check them out at all, yeah, New Barns up in Leith. It's they've got the website there. Follow them on social medias and everything. Make sure to yeah, give them a try if you haven't yet. But everything tastes as good as you'd expect, having tried this one too there. So thanks for going up there, Dom, and making a nice beer. Putting yourself through it after Fine Fest. I'm sure that, like you say, probably a bit of a rough one. And yeah, all good comments. Russell, is this your first time trying it?
It is, yeah. I mean, on the away legs, yeah, there's never a lot of it. So yeah, we're restricted to one or two. But I've been lucky enough to travel to Lake Como and try some bock. But this is unbelievable, fantastic, really dark, really sweet. It's a different drink in this box. Really, really, really cool. Yeah. I'm not going to tell too many people about that back at the brewery because there's only a little bit left of it. So I'll be scampering back for some of that.
Yeah, they'll be jealous. But you're right, we don't always see all that much of the away leg ones come in. So it's nice to be able to try them through the Beer Club box as well that we get.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was kind of swinging away at it thinking this is actually really good. I wasn't expecting such a great beer out of this, but then I've just checked the can at 6.2%. So I think I'll savour it a bit more.
He'll get you.
Absolutely.
Cool. And then Charlotte, I know we had some events coming up that you can find us at as well. So whereabouts are we at next? Do you know?
So the next one now is a tap takeover at the old bakery in Mathwell. That's right at the end of the month, 29th of September. And then the next one after that is actually Indie Man, which is the 5th to the 8th of October. So that's it for the near future, but I'm sure there'll be some more tap takeovers popping up between now and the end of the year. So
we'll be out and about for sure.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
actually we've launched that competition today as well, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah, it's a massive competition, and the prize is worth over £1,000. But be wary, guys. There's some scammers trying to ruin it for us. But yeah, but apart from that, it's a really good prize. So if you've not already, you should really go and enter.
Cheers. Yeah, I did see the annoying thing with that. So yeah, if anyone
Yeah.
pretends to be Thornbridge and messages you about it, just ignore them. But yeah, otherwise the prize you say with Rab and everything else that we have in there, there's some great stuff to win there as we're announcing the new. I think Russell, are you drinking out of our new glassware there? I spotted.
Oh, it's funny you spotted that, James. Yes, yeah. I've got a keg and a cask version.
Nice.
You know, fully available in the tap room at the moment. £4.95 a glass. We'll do 2 for £9.90. But yeah, cask slightly shorter, slightly wider, and then obviously our standard keg kind of format, but with a new design on it as well. Yeah, it's going down really well at the moment.
Yeah, so Bex, our creative lead, has put the new design together for all the glassware. So then Charlotte's organised the competition for us to celebrate announcing it and launching it as well there too. So it's been quite fun to do that. So keep an eye out for those. You'll see them. Yeah, you're right there, Aled. Yeah, lovely beer club surprise. It wouldn't be a surprise now that you've ruined it, I suppose. So no, but the keep an eye out for them in our pubs and everywhere else as well there. Tom had a really good night at the rake last night. Ah, brilliant. Yeah, the Tom Clay was down there for Stone and George was down there, our sales manager as well. So it sounded like it went fantastically. So thank you for joining us there too. And you'll see us out and about at the other ones. We've got one more beer to talk about. We mentioned 6.2 being a bit strong, but of course now we're getting towards 8% with the latest in our Parda series. Russell, I know you've particularly been keen to enjoy this one and have been doing so already. So tell us all about it, please.
Yeah, well, yeah, I usually nip the Pardus, don't I, if there's one in the box. So so the Pudding Pardus range, as we call them in the tap room, as the nights are drawing in, let's instead of drinking the wine, let's keep on with the beer. 8%, so it's either one to be shared or not to be shared in this case. Blueberry cheesecake's the latest one. Not too sweet, I don't think. You get a really good kind of caramel chocolate kind of roast feel from that malt. So I think it's a great way for an end of an evening or an after meal kind of drink. And it's gone down really, really well. We've sold all of our allocation in the tap room. It's already gone. So whenever something's that good, I know it's a pretty good beer.
Yeah, it's been very well received so far. I had to pinch a little bit from James Kitson earlier to fill out the last orders for it, and it's out the door already. So as always with Beer Club, it's a good opportunity to be able to get hold of these beers because they can be in quite short supply as well. So I'm glad you've enjoyed this one and it went well. Have you had it on draft in the tap room yet, or just in the cans?
No, absolutely not yet. I'm fighting with someone in the brewery about that and making sure it's in. At the moment, my dark beer is Tiramisu Lucharia, which I won't complain about, and it's going down really, really well. But if we can get Blueberry Cheesecake Pardus on at some point, it'd be really, really good. Yeah. So it's nice to see that we're still doing an Imperial Stout. With all the duty changes, back in July, I thought we'd get rid of them, or we might have to, but because of costs. But no, it's great to see it still there, and I think it's really, really popular, and people are buying loads of it, so it's great. Yeah, and as always, I like to introduce a food pairing to our beers. So I asked my other half the other day. I said, what do you think? What do you think with this? I don't want to bring on a blueberry cheesecake. That'd be ridiculous. So I asked her, I said, can you scour the shops, get some inspiration? So instead, she's a baker by nature. and I think I brought on some flapjacks of hers before. So she baked blueberry muffins, and she waited till today to do them as well. So they're here. Here's my
Nice.
muffins.
Look good.
So I'll make sure they're available in the brewery. I don't think we can get them online just yet, Charlotte. I don't think we've got capacity at the moment, but yeah, a blueberry muffin. I was with someone today talking about beer and bits and pieces, and they said there's no cake that goes with beer. Let me tell you something. Homemade blueberry muffins go with blueberry pardus. I can promise you that. And she's even iced one of them as well. It didn't go too well, so she's asked me to show you guys. But you know, she's got a whole range there. So see, I've been busy with pardus this week. I've got to be honest, but there's nothing wrong with that. You know, an 8% imperial stout at the end of an evening.
Yeah, that's a good pairing. I like that. I'm not sure why we haven't seen all these in the sales office at work, Russell. If you're getting all these things baked for you, but I'm sure
James,
we will.
James, I was in the sales office today. Okay,
Yeah.
and I didn't see the pair of you. I didn't see you or Charlotte. Okay, so
I was in Russell, and you all come into the office and steal our snacks, and you don't bring any to
I didn't
us.
think anyone said that. Yeah, I do go in and steal crisps when no one's there, and I thought no one knew about that, but it seems I've been rumbled. Yeah.
Yeah, well, between you and Dominic, we're looking. Oh, where are all our pens? Oh, right, yeah, Dom's been it. So, yeah, it's a bit of a free for all sometimes, but yeah, no, well, we'll be expecting them soon. But no, they look great. So thank you as always for the food pairing. It's always good to have those on, and just adds a little bit extra, I think, as well too. So
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, she was saying, you know, oh, I put lemon ice. Do you think that will go well? I said, people can't taste them through the camera. Don't worry too much. And you know, we've got the official food pairing is a lemon sorbet, so yeah, it'll be absolutely fine. So, but yeah, they've been going down a treat. She made 24, and we've got, I think, 8 left, and she made them yesterday. So
that's a good sign.
Not great for the waistline. Yeah.
No, and no football tonight either, right? So
there was no football. No, we cancelled football. You know, especially for the beer calls. So yeah, no football. Dom's one of our captains, so he's got his fingers in many of a pie. So we're both on this tonight.
Yeah, good. Well, it's good to have you both on here. Question there as well about the anything in the pipeline. Of course, you know, we'll be doing Christmas beers, we'll be doing winter warmers as well. So don't worry, we'll have lots of big beers coming out as well. But hopefully for the time being, you'll be satisfied with the latest pardus that we've done there as well. It seems to have gone well everywhere. As you say, the can's already out the door. Some kegs are about as well now too. But yeah, so otherwise that kind of takes us through all of the beers. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Scott. Very much appreciate you taking the time to come on, talk all things Timothy Taylor's. Thank you, Dom, for joining us as well. It's fantastic having the extra brewing knowledge in there. And as always, Russell and Charlotte, very much appreciate you, being through with us the whole evening. But most importantly, thank you everyone for joining us tonight on the call. Hopefully you're enjoying all the beers. And we'll see you next month as well. So yeah, enjoy, that new box is going to be absolutely fantastic as well. So enjoy those, enjoy the rest of your night, and take care, guys. Cheers. Thank you.